two, one. Love Talk Radio.
I love it when she says that. Hey, good morning, America and the whole world. It is Tuesday, and you know what Tuesdays are? Tuesdays are precious because they are Tuesdays with Tessa, as in Tessa Greenspan. And these are really sacred shows because what I did was I invited my really good friend who I've loved and admired for decades to allow me to have her be a person who is sitting here sharing her wisdom and her life experiences for all of our benefits. But I got a secret for you. I started it selfishly for my benefit. and, and I've been having a lot of fun with it because Tessa, you're fabulous. Good morning to you. How are you today?
I am absolutely wonderful.
So Tessa and I laugh every time she tells me that because I have heard that for like 20 some odd years and always 100% of the time that is the answer and I love it. And by the way, that is through thick and thin because, you know, there's times when she's had more giddy up in her step when she says it, and times when it's dialed back, but she believes. You're a believer.
I am. Yes, I am.
A dedicated believer. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. So today, here we are. We're in January of 2021. And do you think that people are thinking, gosh darn, I thought when I turned the calendar page from December 31st over to the new year, it was like walking into a new reality. Do you think anybody is feeling like, boom, it's all different?
Well, it is all different because it's really what you put in your mind that this is going to be a good year. We've been through a lot. The thing of it is, it really is going forward, although it's not going to be as quick as many of us think. The thing of it is, though, it's really what you focus on that will come about. So focus on your goals and what's possible in this life, and we will see the light at the end of the tunnel. We have been through the really kind of the dark night of the soul because so many things that we could not even envision a year ago today. We could not even have, we couldn't have written a book that would tell that we all have muzzles on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. And by the way, thank goodness there's been a couple of like memes on social media and cartoons where people have had their dogs or cats sitting there. There was one funny one, you and I might have exchanged this, where the cat is there and he's talking to a friend saying, I don't know what's going on, but she came home and she had a muzzle on and I didn't know that humans were biting. And she comes to the house and takes the muzzle off. She hasn't bitten me yet.
That is cute. That is really cute.
Yeah, it is pretty nutty.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing of it is that we adapt. It's sort of like a plane it's heading towards Los Angeles and it's blown off course, but you keep adapting, you keep adjusting.
Yep.
So, and I would really like to associate this with the goals that you have for this year. You may be blown off, but you just keep adapting and adjusting, and you will get to where you want to go. And maybe we have to do a lot of different changes, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's really getting out of your comfort zone also that, we now have an opportunity to do so many things differently than, again, we couldn't even have conceived last year. So it's really being adaptable, getting out of your comfort zone, and making the best of where we are at this moment, because it will get better. It will get better. Now, you may not think it. So I would also like to encourage every single person to think about and write all of the things that you have to be grateful for, because the more you're grateful, the more you will have to be grateful for. And it's really what we put in our mind. It really is. So have a mindset. Keep going back to what you have to be thankful and grateful for. It's just say thank you. When you get up in the morning, when you, all day, the things that you have, be thankful and grateful. Yes. Look at this, that we are healthy,
So
that we have homes, food.
so let's take that in steps here, because you said being grateful. First, you
Yes.
said having your goals. Second,
Yes.
being grateful. And third,
Yes.
mindset. So let's walk it backwards. So your mindset really, when you have a vision of what it is that you want, to look at it and to say, here's what it is that I see, that I know that I want to create, I want to allow, I want to invite in. That's one. And then number two is to say, I am so grateful that I have the capacity to be able to do that.
Yes.
And say, terrific. And then as we're writing our goals, saying, and this comes from all the episodes that we've got, so I'm just kind of pulling us together here on your words over time, to say, okay, I am really grateful that I have the idea that I want to have this, and I want to be able to do that, and I would also like to be able to see this actualize in divine time and in divine order, good
Yes.
for all and harm for none. Do I sound like Tessa?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
then I put the Deb spin on it, which is really not my spin. It's both you and I. And that is, and dear Lord, thank you for creating me, for loving me. I love you just as much as I possibly can back to you. And please allow me to stay in your light and be illuminated. I want to be one of the illuminated ones, because you shine into everybody and not everybody will allow it. I do. I invite it.
Yes. 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 I do too. And I was just thinking that it really is important for us to do this process.
Yes.
One of the first steps, though, is loving yourself.
Yes.
And that is learning to love yourself. That really is the first step of doing this. And
Huge.
look in the mirror and say, I love you. Do other kinds of things to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So important to love yourself, to appreciate yourself. And remember to watch the words that you say to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Do not say I'm stupid or any of these
No,
kinds of
no.
things. Be more aware. And I would encourage every single person this year to begin on that process of loving yourself. Be careful of your words that you're saying to yourself and to others,
So,
because we hear it.
yeah. The line that I use is, be careful, because you hear what you say.
Exactly.
And the mind then takes that journey. So when you say anything negative, and I won't even say what the negatives are, because I don't want to hear myself say them, because I don't want to be thinking them. But, and this was another conversation that you and I had, was when you ask the mind a question, the mind then wants to look for the answer, because the mind is explorative. So I wonder why it is that things are always working out in just the most divine order for me. And then your mind goes, oh, I know. And then let's do it again, right?
It's so true. It really is important for the things that you want.
Yeah.
Always put why. Why is everything always working out for me? Why am I having the most wonderful day? Why is my job so satisfying?
Yes.
So I too would encourage every single person to say why, because then your subconscious mind starts looking for these reasons.
Yes.
So it's really sort of prompting your subconscious mind to work for you in essence.
It is. It's a matter of fact, let's take that through the journey of self-love. Why am I so good at loving me?
Yes. Yes.
Why am I so absolutely beautiful on the outside and the inside? why am I so blessed with this genius brain? And then our subconscious and unconscious mind get very activated and start looking for all the ways that those are true. And then the beauty of it is that that all translates into these good habits that we have.
So true. You know, why do I love myself? You're so right. Why am I so blessed beyond measure?
Yeah. You know,
So,
one of the things that is important about that, just taking our time with this part of this, the most essential component of this life is to love oneself. And through time and various parts of our cultural history, the word selfish comes up, and it's got all these negative connotations to it, understandably, but not correct. When you're talking about narcissism, we're talking about that character who was so vain, they're looking at their reflection in the pond and they fall in and drown. But to love the self appropriately is the most beautiful and reverent thing that we can do for ourselves, for our parents who brought us into the world, for our creator who created us into the world. And if we don't love the self, we don't have the foundation upon which to build.
that is so true.
Is
You must work at loving yourself first before you can go out and love others. And really, love, and everybody has probably a different definition of it, but it's really loving yourself. It's appreciating, it's accepting, it is enjoying, and seeing the good parts of it. It doesn't mean that we ignore something that we can improve, but it's just loving ourselves first. Then we can go out. And you know, there is something to this with people who are looking for mates.
yeah.
If you don't love yourself first, you can't love another. And that's just the way it is, not to the depth that's possible.
You're right. What I was gonna say, I'm gonna edit you a little bit. Yeah, to the depth. So healthfully, there are people who are craving a mate. Like there was somebody who was reaching out to me about their life, and just over the last couple of days, and one of the things that they said to me was, "I just got to get all this stuff straight." And I mean, if nothing else, I got to find a husband. And I wrote them back, and we were texting, and I said, no, you're really on a backwards track. You need to find yourself first.
Mhm.
And then a mate, a husband evolves over time. But if you're out there looking for a mate and you're thinking, oh, a husband will love me, a husband will take care of me, not unless the circumstances warrant it. And if you're coming at it from a point of desperation and you need somebody to love you so that it's okay for you to love yourself, well, it doesn't work. So
No,
the
it
other
doesn't.
point that we were just kind of almost skipping over, consideration for the self. How
Yes.
considerate are you of you? Because what I hear people coming to me with so often, Tessa, is they have become depleted because they didn't want to tell another, I really don't have time to do that, or that's really not in my comfort zone, or doing that stresses me out, whatever it is, whether it's personal or it's in business. And so they keep acquiescing and acquiescing and acquiescing. And what happens is they're drained and resentful.
That's true.
Yep.
Yet, when you give so much, then when you don't get it back, one, you are expecting it, you do
Yeah.
not get it back. You do become resentful. And so it really is a round robin, which then hurts you in turn, takes away your love for yourself and taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
So it really is.
interesting. Say it again.
It's very interesting. No, it's really getting back to loving yourself. I don't think that we can say it enough, but it's really methods of doing it too. I think that would be really good, Deb, for us to Dr. Deb, for us to give examples of loving yourself.
You're so cute. Now you teed me up with the Dr. Deb.
Yeah.
I gotta go official. All right, write this down. Make your list. Okay. So first of all, when you get up in the morning and you're stretching in your bed, don't forget to wrap your arms around yourself. And there's a game that we play with infants, right? Hug yourself, so big. It's a great game to play with yourself. That's number one. Number two, when you roll out of bed and you go into the restroom and you void and you come over to the sink and you're looking in the mirror and you're about to brush your teeth, look in the mirror and look right there, eyeball to eyeball, and say, "Oh, you are wonderful. You're looking really cute today. I love you. Ooh, I can look really deep into your eyes. Oh, I love who I see there. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, God, for allowing me to be here today." How's that? How's that for a start?
That's really good. Really good. Because many people go to the mirror first and say, "Oh my God, what happened to you?" So it's really changing little things.
Right. So add number 3. I put 2. You add 2.
So say, "I love you" all day, every day.
I love
And
you.
then even say it to other people, even living or dead. One of the things that I did that I feel so important, and it's a message that I would like to give to everyone,
Okay.
and that is forgiveness, because that is another way of loving yourself. It's letting go of anything that anyone has done to you. So dead or alive, I did a process that I did, that I thought of all of the people that I had something against, or it was not a good fit or whatever. And I said, "I love you. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Thank you." And that's a Ho'oponopono thing, but it really was so good. "I love you. I forgive you. Thank you. Please forgive me. Thank you." So it really is a way of also loving yourself, because you're letting go of some negative things that could have happened in your life.
You know what? I think that would be a good exercise to do, even with people who were annoyed by.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And, if you say this, no matter where they are, excuse me, I have to sneeze. No matter where they are.
That gives me a great excuse to bless you.
Oh, thank you. No matter where the people are or what has happened, if you say, no matter where they are, if you will say, "I love you," and mean it with their name,
Yeah.
it softens that person. If you have something that is challenging between the two of you, if you will do that to them, test it. I challenge every single person. Test it. See for yourself if this won't work. But the forgiveness part, I'm going to get back to this. Unforgiveness is like taking poison, waiting for the other person to die.
Oh.
In our life,
Taking
yes.
poison, waiting for the other person to die. That's a lot to wrap your mind around.
Yes, it is. So maybe we need to say more about that too.
Say more
So
about
it hurts you. What it's saying in essence is it hurts you. It doesn't hurt them at all. Having resentment or anything against them. It doesn't hurt them. It hurts you. So it's like unforgiveness and anger and all of this is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die, because it hurts you, not them.
I think that it does hurt the other person, because when people are that way towards me, it hurts me. So I try to turn it around so that I say, you know what? I can't really do anything about this person, but I can be compassionate in their direction. I think I just wordsmith that word forgiveness into compassion, but maybe I'm missing something, because what does forgiveness mean?
Forgiveness means, it doesn't mean that you forget this, but so my example is I have partners that left me with $1 million in debt. Well, if I would have hung on to that, been angry, resentful, all of this, I couldn't have really, I don't feel, made a success, a massive success as I did. So I forgave them. In my mind, I never talked to them again. In my mind, I said that, I forgive you. Please forgive me. Thank you. So it meant that I was not hanging on to that. I then was able to use all of my energy, because unforgiveness takes away your energy also.
Oh yeah.
Being
Yeah.
angry, all of these things
Right.
takes energy that is not helpful to you at all. It hurts you. That's what I mean by forgiving others, even when they're not even in your space. It's really making that, it's sort of making peace with actually yourself.
There you go. Bingo. That's what I think. Now, that is the first time I have heard that. And I'm actually going to write that down. Forgiveness is actually making peace with yourself.
Yes.
I like that, Tessa. Forgiveness is actually making peace with yourself. You know, this is huge.
Yes, it is.
Um,
Mhm.
think about in our country right now, if we had everybody doing exactly that, that would be enormous.
Well, it changes the whole energy of the world. If
Yeah,
everyone could get together and meditate and just say, love, I love you, over and over, and mean it, pure, what a difference. What a difference.
huge difference.
I posted something like that. If we spread love as much as we spread hate, what a wonderful world this would be.
Yeah, yeah. Was that in the shape of a heart that it was?
Yes, it was. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. We posted that simultaneously. I love that. You know, so the idea is to wake up in the morning and give that gratitude and start out with self love and gratitude. And then from there, start writing your goals. But we came back to continuing on your self love, and you threaded forgiveness into it in the form of saying to everybody you've had any anguish with, I love you and I forgive you, because you're really making peace with yourself. You know, that's really beautiful, Tessa, because we do, as human beings in the human condition, have this unfortunate tendency. And I think we can use it to our advantage if it's a learning, if it's a point of leverage for learning. So when you say forgiveness is a way of making peace with yourself, what a beautiful invitation to take everything that's anguish and just let it dissipate off of every cell in your body. That's very energizing.
Not only that, it's really good for your health.
Yeah, think about how much space
Mhm.
resentment and anguish take up in your body.
And
It clouds.
yes, and your mind. There are so many people who are obsessed with anger
Yeah,
and resentment that it hurts them. They really do not have the time to really enjoy their life like it's possible. So
yes.
when you are so filled with anger and hate and resentment, one, I can tell any woman, especially, it wrinkles you and makes you ugly. It does. Think about people who are negative and complaining and just resentment and hate. You can't see the beauty in them.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting, just a little insertion here. When my mother was dying, um, she was in and out of the hospital, and it was very well controlled, by the way. You know, we were there strategically. This is about a decade ago that she died. So it was like 15 years ago when we were going through this. And one of my closest friends was our physician. And so, you know, we had a particular hospital room that we'd be in, only at one hospital, and we knew the nurses and right across the hallway from their station. And I would walk in there and I would take my phone and take a picture of her. And she'd say, "Why are you doing that?" And I'd say, "Because you are amazingly beautiful." And she was. I mean, at 87 years old, my mother's face was not a wrinkled mess. That woman had so much love.
And that shows. I mean, so
Uh,
that's a great example too of how, if you want to have a lot less wrinkles, then love and forgive. Uh-huh.
Right. Forget the plastic surgery.
Yes,
Open your heart and be loving. And
that's
as a matter
true.
of fact, she would get mad at me. She'd say, Deb, can you please tell people when they come in here, the staff, to quit telling me that I'm beautiful? And I'd say, why? And she'd say, because I don't feel well. And I'd say to her, you know what, Mom, I will ask everybody to be more sensitive to you, but I have to tell you, you capture people with your beauty. And she did. I mean, she was radiant. It was amazing. Wow. I mean, unbelievable. Okay, so with all of that, one of the things that runs through my mind is as we're going back, self-love, focusing on forgiveness, thinking of our goals for now and in the future. I like the idea of like every other step is going back to gratitude and back to gratitude,
Yes,
back to gratitude.
absolutely. Yes.
Sandwich it in
Yeah.
everything.
Yes. Think of little things. And actually, it can be a fun game. Just say to yourself today, I'm going to find everything. I'm going to be aware of everything I have to be thankful and grateful for. And you would be amazed. I am so thankful that I am in Arizona at my great friend's home on her computer in her office. So I personally have so much to be thankful and grateful. Although I can say I find things to be thankful and grateful for.
Absolutely. You know what? This is really funny. So I'm thinking I'm really grateful for this glass.
Yes.
I got this glass at World Market and it's handmade and it's got all this nice texture to it. And I love to feel it. I love to look at it. And when I open up my cabinet, this is really funny. I was just kind of straightening up over the weekend. And when I open up my kitchen cabinets, I like to find things in there that delight me. So I have a little wooden teddy bear who's sitting. And I thought, you know what? I love these glasses from World Market. I've got them in like pink and this turquoise and a greenish color. And I like it when I open it up and I see them. But, I would really like it if I would open up and see that little bear in there. So
Yeah.
I open up my cabinet and I see the little bear in there and I usually just kind of smile. Sometimes I say hi. And then I say, I'm so grateful that you're in there. You're keeping everything safe, Do you want me to put a honey pot in here?
This is cute. This is cute. I wanted to add one more thing, and I think that it would be good for us to have a whole session on this. And this is how to change your mind if you have negativity, if you have things that are happening to you. And one of the things that I say, if something negative has happened or if it's hard to get your mind off of it, is go outside and skip.
Oh.
You cannot skip
Okay.
and be angry. You have to laugh at yourself.
That's our last tip for the day.
Yes.
And so what Tessa Greenspan and I are going to close on is we are grateful that we're here together. We're grateful that you're here listening and watching us. And we love you. And Tessa, I love you.
And I love you. You're just wonderful.
You're wonderful too. All right, friends, this is Dr. Deb Carlin and my good friend and co-host Tessa Greenspan here on The Influencers Tuesdays with Tessa. Be sure to go over to YouTube if you're not already here at Partners in Excellence Media, and we will see you next week. Until then, hang with me here. We'll close this out. Au revoir. Arrivederci.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, you're so welcome.